Well, I'm pulling apart these 35 self-loaders that Brian had sent because I want to salvage these jacketed soft point bullets. Let's see what they are. Yeah, they say 350. Well, okay, he's off a little. Because they should be a 352. Yeah. But I want to use these in the 351. Now, I was a little surprised when I dumped the powder out of these. I didn't expect to find what I found. There's 10.4 grains of what really looks to me like trail boss. But I have no reason to believe that these have ever been reloaded. These are ancient. And, they are the W.R.A. company. So it's Winchester Repeating Arms 35 self-loader. But I'm sure these, I think that's the copper primer, kind of a domed primer. I'm thinking these are from, like late 20s. And just by looking at them, they've never been fired, so they haven't been reloaded. But boy, that looks exactly like Trail Boss. So that's a bit of a puzzler. Because I'm not familiar with old Winchester powders, but I don't remember anybody using that type before, and I thought Trail Boss is relatively new. But like I say, I swear, these have not been reloaded. These are old. So I find that interesting. But then, out of curiosity, I pulled apart one of these that say, it's Winchester Repeating Arms again. Now this has got a more of a brighter color, not the copper primer, it's a newer metallic primer. And flat rather than the domed. But these are 32 LC. Now, and I pulled one of them apart just to see what the powder was like. But now that is what I expect to see, a fine flake powder. Nothing surprising there. I'll scrap that. The interesting thing, they made a lot of different versions of a 32, but this is actually the kind that's got a lube groove in it. Some of them were lubed externally, and this has got a hollow base bullet, which I find interesting. You would think you'd get really good sealing with that, but that's quite a big hollow in that base. So I found that interesting. But, like I say, I don't think these have ever been taken apart. I swear that's a factory crimp, and there's no signs that they've ever been fired. But this powder is a puzzler to me, because I thought Winchester used, well, I didn't think anybody used this except Trail Boss, this flattened donut design. But I'm loading these up, and I've actually took one out and shot it. Was hoping to recover the bullet to see what kind of expansion, but they go deeper in the ground than I can dig. Well, and I do have new brass. I was able to get some from Buffalo Arms, and I'd love to be able to say that, oh boy, it's available again, but no, it isn't. And they had 111 of them. And that was just a fluke. I don't know where they found those, because I kind of keep watching for that, because Jameson Okay, it's a company out of South Dakota. They got bought out by this Captech company. And since then, that happened quite a while back, but the brass has been a little iffy about getting 435 or 351. So I don't know what's going to happen with them. This might be the last brass you'll ever see. It's good brass, but a little hard to find. Everybody is sold out of it. Some people don't actually list it anymore. Nobody's taking back orders. But Buffalo Arms happen to have just 111 of them. So I've got some on back order yet from them, but unless they actually stumble into some more, I don't think I'm going to see them. The only company that I know that also makes it was a company called Bertram. I think that's out of Australia, but they're about twice the price. These were 58 cents each, but they can be hard to find. But like I say, it's good brass. I haven't had any trouble. I had one fail after, being reloaded many, many times, and that was really only because I was running, with 19 grains of 4227, which is pretty much a max load. Normally I'm running, like 16 and a half, 17. That's not a problem. But keep tearing these apart, but that's kind of an interesting bullet, but like I say, I'm curious to see what the expansion is. See, here's the thing that puzzles me. On each one of these bullets, you will see one divot right above the crimp groove, and I don't know why that's there, but everyone has got that. That's interesting. And they aren't, the jacket is not magnetic. It's got to be the cupro-nickel. But they changed that a lot too over the years. Because for a while, Winchester actually was doing some that were tin plated. So you never quite know what you're going to run into. But it's hard to find bullets for 351. Soft point jacketed bullets. So like I say, I'm salvaging these, and I'll pass the cases on to Gun Geek after I get them primers out of there. But here you can see the difference in length between the cartridges really are the same. It's just that the 351 is like a 1/4 inch longer. But that powder, that's a puzzler to me.